I'm saying? Folks don't always feel like lyricism is respected as much as it used to be or whatever the case is, but freestyling or putting out these weekly segments like Jacking for Beats, it still gives me the opportunity to showcase that, but I can still go on my songs and just vibe out if I want to. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you saw that. I can rap, shawty. Don't worry about that. Whenever I want to turn it on, I can turn it on. But it's the freedom to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Because, like, a lot of folk can't do what, you know what I'm saying, me or Jill or goddamn Kenny Mason or any of these guys can do, and it's a real talent.
Right. That's really different.
Deante, you've been one of the cats in Atlanta right now. Deante, you've been one of the cats in Atlanta right now that's been kind of, you really been representing for the rap portion of the culture. Yeah. And you know, we do that. That's what we do on the show. I appreciate y'all for that. And being from the South, it's so much bounce and, you know, vibe music being created here. To get one of y'all to represent the culture on some like lyrical way, you actually one of the cats that's representing it. Like, you really like
got it on your shoulders.
Got it on your shoulders
appreciate
right now.
that, man.
You're amongst you and, you know, a couple of other people, but you're amongst the few of the group. And you know, me and him, we usually do our research to try to get cats like you on the show. So I appreciate you making it.
Bro, I appreciate y'all having me, for real. Like, I done made the trip all the way to Atlanta. This shit gonna be fire.
We had to, man. We couldn't come out here without getting you on the show. Now, I know you got a lot going on musically, and you've been working on a lot of different things. Just talk to us right now, currently, what you currently working on right now.
Crazy folk, we talking about music, bro. I really ain't doing no music. I'm really trying to transition right now into my next phase of my career. You know what I mean, I'm finna do something else.
You can't talk about that too early.
Oh yeah, I can.
What's the something else?
Look, don't laugh. Finna do some ice skating.
Ice skating?
No Kizzy. No Kids are ratchet.
Not in Atlanta.
Nah, in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We got the little man-made rinks and shit.
Wow.
Look, man, I appreciate y'all for not goddamn like shit on my shit.
Wait, so you nice?
He nice.
Don't play with him.
I'm about to go touch that out.
Yeah,
after the show, we might have to pull your card on.
Yeah, after this.
I'm lying, bro.
I'm about to say, we might have to go after the show and go touch that out, bro.
I'm nice on the real skates, the regular skates. Like, I can roller skate and shit, but I can't feel like every nigga in Atlanta can roller skate, though. It's in our blood and shit. But yeah, man, musical-wise shit, we working on like 5 projects, for real. Yeah, it's a lot of shit, bro. Like, I'm working on a movie that I'm writing, finna make the soundtrack for it. We're gonna have a whole little mini movie with it. Working on this EP we trying to put out in like May, June, something like that. The next album, and then it's another project I can't talk about yet. But yeah, it's just a lot, bro.
Okay, let's pause that and bring it back, right? You in your recent years of everything you've been doing, you had some critically acclaimed things happen in your career, from your startup to where you are now. You kind of had like some amazing. You did some amazing things in your career. You know, at the early stages at that. Let's talk about prior to the Better album. Where were you as far as like before Better?
Shit, nigga was platinum. It is motherfucking Grammy nominated before we even dropped the album. That shit was fire as hell, man. Shout out to Dreamville. Shout out to Cole, Eve, everybody over there. Yeah, like they really set a lot of folk up, man, in a good way. A lot of folks who really didn't have, I guess, like the biggest name, you know what I'm saying, in the industry yet and shit like that. And they really gave them an opportunity to really like take off from an early space. You know what I'm saying, like the Costa Rica record just went platinum again. Like they gave a lot of folk their first number ones, their first Grammy nomination, their first a lot of shit. I ain't expect to get that type of shit like maybe to like 3-4 years down the line. That shit already done in the books. Got a plaque in my mama crib.
The young man is Grammy nominated, I tell you.
So wait, you just said you don't expect to get stuff like that 3-4 years down the line.
Yeah.
So that means you understand the grind and you understand what it entails, because you don't hear people talk like that when they talk about their grind. They want it overnight, they want it the next day. So you kind of understood what you signed up for and how it was gonna roll out for yourself.
Bro, I've been rapping since I was goddamn 12 years old. Like, I know how long this shit take. They say it take like 10 years to make an overnight celebrity. You know what I mean? That shit really take time, bro. It's crazy because, like, you know what I'm saying? I like to compare that shit to like a fast food restaurant and a sit-down restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You get the shit quick, shit gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna fill you up for the time being, and then it's gone. But you get that motherfucking steak, motherfucker. It's gonna take a little longer to get it. When you get that shit, it's way better than this little dope cheeseburger, motherfucker. Exactly, shawty. So it's just a little different. You know what I mean? And that's no disrespect to folk who pop and go, because a lot of folk don't even like really want to be rappers. They just make some shit and stumble onto a hit. And that shit changes their lives. You know what I'm saying? All blessings to that. For real, because that shit's still amazing, you know? We come from goddamn impoverished ass areas, so anybody who can make some money out of some shit, nigga, that shit a blessing, y'all. but I'm in this shit for the long run.
So you coming from a place of passion.
Yeah.
Passionate about this, you understand.
Don't get me wrong, I want some money too.
Right.
I mean,
okay.
So so the 10-year process, you mentioned the 10, putting in your time.
Yeah.
What during that time, what kept you going? Because you could have easily been like, yo, this shit ain't working. Did you ever have that moment where it's just like, yo, this shit ain't working?
Shit, I mean, early on, like I said, I've been rapping since I was 12 and shit. So like when I hit, I want to say like 16 or something like that, I kind of stopped. I was dancing and shit. It was really like whatever the hoes fucking with, nigga, that's what I'm on. Right. Dancing, skating, all that shit. So that's what I was on. But when I got back to college, or when I got to college, probably like 19, I started taking it serious again. And ever since then, we're going.
What made you take it serious?
Crazy enough, I don't know. I think it was just like calling me to come back to it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it had been a minute since I actually rapped. It was at least like a 3-year period where I wasn't rapping for. I was just dancing at nigga.
So at what point, you said in college, right?
Yeah.
You got back to taking it serious. At what point where you thought to yourself, yo, this shit might work, or I could make it in this?
Was it a buzz, or was it something within you?
Like, yeah, what happened for you to be like, I could make it?
Not for real. I mean, I always felt like I could make it. You know what I mean? But there were like certain things as far as like traction wise where I was like, damn, okay, so the shit is actually picking up. When I was in college, that was the first time I did the New Atlanta Tuesdays. Very first time. I met my partner, his name's Garfield. He's my videographer and shit. We got together and we used to shoot them motherfuckers literally like, we'll shoot them on Monday night. We might have like finals and shit. We'll shoot them Monday, be in the library all night, put that motherfucker out Tuesday morning.
Can you explain
That's
what
tough.
that, because the fans, some of the fans might not know what that was. Can you explain
What, the New Atlanta Tuesday?
Yeah.
Shit, it's just like this freestyle segment that I've been doing. It's like weekly episodes we were putting out. And one thing that everybody used to tell me all the time is like consistency is one of the most important things. And not even just this shit, but in anything. Yeah, like life period. So it's like, you can put something out and folks will be like, yeah, that shit hard. And then you take 6 months or so off and it's like, bro, I don't forget about this shit, nigga. I got other shit going on.
Right.
So if you do that shit every week, folks start to expect it from you, or folks start to be like, okay, shit, we fuck with what you got going on, bro. Like, okay, that shit crazy. They start seeing traction, and nigga, it's like, you believe in it. They can see you believe in it, so they start to believe in it too.
Can you talk about how important the freestyle is then, since that was a kind of a monumental piece to kind of help your train get going?
It's really important to me, you know what I'm saying? I like rapping. You know what I'm saying? The climate is a little different nowadays, to the point where, you know what I'm saying, folks don't always feel like lyricism is respected as much as it used to be, or whatever the case is. But freestyling or putting out these weekly segments like Jacking for Beats, it still gives me the opportunity to showcase that, but I can still go on my songs and just vibe out if I want to. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you saw that. I can rap, shawty. You don't worry about that. Whenever I want to turn it on, I can turn it on. But it's the freedom to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Because, like, a lot of folk can't do what, you know what I'm saying, me or Jill or goddamn Kenny Mason, or any of these guys can do, and it's a real talent.
Right.
It's a real talent, for real. So
it's a real instrumental part of music, I feel like. And it's kind of like your building blocks too, because you always go back to it. It's almost like a humbling piece if you think about it. You get a lot of stuff kind of get to your head, and you know what I mean, a lot of the fame stuff, and you could be like, man, I'm about to go in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing, without having to worry about a concept, put a song together, all this shit. You can just go rap. You know what I'm saying?
So I like the build up story, because all right, so you went from the freestyles that you dropped every week.
Yeah.
What was one of the main traction you got where you just like, yo, this is one of the ones?
I think the biggest one that we put out, and like the quickest one that grew, it was like 5 a.m. in Toronto, back when Drake put that motherfucker out. And
that was a tough beat.
We remixed that shit like, it might have been like 2 or 3 days after Tuesday just happened to fall on that day type shit. That motherfucker went up. I was like, oh, hold on. I was actually watching. I think it might have been like the 6th one we put out when we started and shit. So that was the first time I really saw like, oh, this shit is legit. Like,
right. So real quick, can you talk about your inspiration? Because like you said, you're in a place where kind of like they curate to the vibe more than the lyricism. So what inspired you even around? You might see some of your peers around you was not really on that. And then can you also talk about like the struggles in terms of your success?
Yeah.
That you're like, all right, I'm not making this stuff, but I'm still pushing through doing the lyricism thing.
I ain't gonna cut you down. My goddamn inspirations real spread out. Like, from the spectrum, it go all the way from like a Kilo Ali to a goddamn Jay-Z. You know what I mean? So everything in between. I feel like growing up here, especially, we have a different type of freedom that a lot of other areas geographically don't have, just because of the way everything's set up here. Like, if you go up the road, we got the goddamn hood smack here and then right over on the next street, it's mansions.
Man, we noticed that, bro.
That.
It was like weird, everybody shooting the hood.
A block later,
it's just weird, bro. So like, literally, everybody is next to each other. Right. Like a lot of us go to the same schools, out of shit. So we've seen a lot of different perspectives as we grew up. You know what I mean? So like I might have goddamn white partner, Mexican partner.
That's dope, though.
Whatever the case. So they all got different tastes in music. So we've all just been listening to a lot of different shit. So we got Outkast and we got Thug. But at the same time, we got so many other different. Yeah. Right. So I think it's pretty cool, man. That was my influence span.
Did it ever hinder your progression in terms of your career? Like, maybe it's not catered to the lyricism aspect. How did you feel about that? Or did it not?
I don't think it hindered my career necessarily. If it hindered anything, it's just like how I think about it sometimes. Right. I'd be like, I feel too all over the place sometimes. When I'm making shit, it's like, I might be singing on this motherfucker, might fuck around and yodel on this bitch, you know what I mean? Just gotta feel like it, and then I'm trying to bar this up. And as a consumer, it's hard to digest all of that, cause it's like, all right, nigga, what are you about? What the fuck is this for real? So maybe that. But at the same time, fucking nigga, all this shit, expression.
Just do what you do.
Like,
I think the main reason, the main reason we invited you on the show is because of that. Like, there's a piece of the culture in every different state, no matter where we go. There's somebody there, no matter what the vibe is, somebody's barring up crazy. And he's making music. Musically, he's inclined, but he's also barring up. Here, you happen to be one of the cast that's, you can musically go.
You do both.
But when it comes to rapping, and you guys kind of have if you take a look at the guests we had on the show, you guys all have that in common. Yeah. And that's the part we believe of the culture that's kind of dying. But we wanted to show like how being versatile is doable in the culture.
Effective.
Being balanced in the culture, it has to be balanced. Yeah. You can't. Hip hop is not 24 hours partying.
True.
Hip hop is not 24 hours one way. It's so many different.
You even got gospel rap.
You even got gospel rap. So it's
Shout
different. It's just I just believe in balance, and the fact of the artists that we invite on the show, they show that. So when you hear this freestyle, when your fans hear this freestyle, new fans hear it, they tap into your music and actually hear how well you can make music, and they can conclude like, yo, he represents hip hop at its best, at its fullest, when you're capable of doing both sides. So I just wanted to highlight that real quick because I think I think it goes unnoticed sometimes when artists are capable of doing both, because a lot of artists are not doing it.
Yeah.
So for
they don't feel like it's beneficial.
Yeah. And the fact that most of the artists, Reason Boogie, most of them, their story goes from, yo, I made this freestyle and it went crazy for me. And it got me here. And so many of people have that kind of story that it's crazy how underrated the art of rap, the art of freestyle is to this day. And it's so underrated because your story just aligns right with it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to just ask you, being an Atlanta artist, being in that environment, he asked you earlier, but I kind of want to hear some details on what your process been, what you've been going through when it comes to you being an Atlanta artist that bars up crazy. Have you found that challenging being?
It's not that it's challenging. It's just that it just takes a little longer, man. Like, so I went to school, this was 2011. When I was down there, I went down to Georgia Southern. It's like 3 hours from me and shit. But we got a street up here called Edgewood. I don't know if y'all familiar with Edgewood or not, but they had this spot called a department store. And at the time, like, folks was going up there every week. Like, all the acts that was bubbling around that time, from your 2-9s to your OG Maco, all them niggas, like, that's where it was at. Them niggas was going crazy. And it was like, damn, I'm so far away from home, I can't even get there. Crazy enough. Can you actually repeat the question again? I can't even remember where I was going. I was going somewhere.
But it's the struggle of being able to rap in this environment.
Facts. Yeah. OG Macos and shit and all those guys that were bubbling at that point. But at the same time, in that same class of folks, it was your Jigs, your Earth Gangs, your Blacks, all them folk. And you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm saying, no disrespect to anybody, but you see who's still here. Like, you see the folk who are here right now, popping up, and who are setting themselves up to have longer, more sustainable careers, you know what I mean? And that could be a testament to anything too. I don't know what happened behind the scenes to nobody, but from my perspective, you can just see. It's like the ones who last longer are the ones who put more time into it. And it didn't just flash. It didn't just pop quick. You know what I mean? You heard about them niggas 10 years ago. Now it's like they seen the fruits of their labor. You know what I mean? So it's the same type of shit. It just take a little longer, man. And that's for anybody, not even just Atlanta, dog. When you actually like really, really trying to put something into that shit, sometimes it just take a minute for you to find yourself and find out your sound or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like, but when it comes, when your moment comes, you already have a foundation for folks to look back on. It's like, you don't ever want to get to the point where the song is bigger than the artist. So it's like you got some folk who come out, they song crazy. I can't even tell you who made that motherfucker. Right. I know the song.
That's a great point.
Bro, it's like, you don't ever want to get to that point, because then, fuck you gonna do with that?
Right.
What are you gonna do? Nobody knows you, they just know the song. So when that song gone, it's over with.
I didn't know who made that beatbox challenge. I was trying to figure out who was the... But it was people remixing it. When I Googled it, it still wasn't the person who made the joint, bro. And I was like, what the fuck?
It's like 60 of them hoes now. You don't know who the fuck made that song, bro. So, but yeah, that's how it be, dog. It just take a little longer, man. So I don't think it hindered anything. Shit, honestly.
Do people want to work with
this way?
What you mean? Do you feel like people kind of shy away from getting on track with you because they know you about to go crazy? Or do they just be like, you know what I mean? That's just how he is.
You can bring that balance to you.
I mean, I think everybody like, shit, even me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gets intimidated. It's like, oh shit, nigga, you fire as fuck too. Goddamn, I gotta step my shit up or whatever the case is. But it's all how you respond to it. You know what I mean? Like, you can either let that shit put you in the shell. It's like, nah, nigga, I don't fuck with nobody. You just make my shit over here and be lonely, or nigga, you can go bring out that iron fire. Sharpen iron. So nigga, like I was just telling y'all about the nigga King. And Chris Patrick. Actually, we was all in the studio last night.
Oh, that's what's up.
Last night till like 6 a.m. Shout out going crazy. So it's like
rappers.
Exactly.
Rappers.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm about to say I don't know personally if anybody is shied away from getting on some shit would be because of that, but if so, nigga, fuck it, nigga, set that shit up.
You know how it go. Y'all set everything up, and then when it's time, niggas come.
Oh man, the engineer right here. Shit crazy, I gotta go out of town.
So I wanna give Deante his props, because I gotta highlight that, right? Grammy nominated. I'm talking about records, JID, worked with Dreamville records, like so many. You at such a young age, you've done some big things, right? Yep. I just want to talk about what led up to that happening, that occurring. What led up to you and Dream? How did that happen?
Shit. Well, I say Dreamville shit slick has been a long time coming. I knew everybody. I knew Jid, Earth Gang, Boss. No Cos before that. I think I knew Cos before that. I knew Ari because we had just got off tour with her and Black and shit. But like, I had met Cole maybe like once or twice. I think the only person I had met was like Omen and Luke or something like that. So I knew everybody, but the piece really came together. The label that I'm signed to is RCA by Storm. So I don't know if y'all too familiar with Mark Pitts. He's the person who originally took Cole to Jay-Z. I mean, he was managing Cole for a minute. So that relationship is really, really tight. So even when I stepped into the label situation with them, he was sending Cole my shit. Like, so Cole had already been like giving feedback, like, yo, this shit crazy. Got down to do whatever the case is. So it was nothing to actually finally put that together. It was a no-brainer. So when niggas was in Atlanta, it was like, boy, y'all niggas better hit me up. The fuck going on? He talk about. And then we went on to make some crazy records. I was like, I don't know if niggas know. Niggas made like 140 some records when they did. Yeah, like.
So you are signed?
Yeah, I am.
So how's that experience been as far as being? But first, before I go into that, I want to talk about the Dreamville stuff, right? When you was recording, because that had to been some legendary moments. Crazy. Cole coming in, Reason, and what's the name having a moment where Cole was there, Kaz and Cole was there. So
crazy, bro.
And then there was a story where I think you said it in I think shout out to Revolt did an interview with you, where you mentioned how the whole Milwaukee Bucks team was in the studio. Was they in the studio?
The motherfuckers was in the studio. They brought everybody donuts. Yeah, the motherfuckers came in with donuts, bro. I was just looking. I was like, who the fuck is all these tall ass nigga? The fuck going on? But the nigga turned around like, oh, that's Giannis. That shit crazy. They weren't even the only ones. Nigga, we was sitting, all right, it's a room called 222. It was right there. It's like a little small room and shit, real intimate room. We was making some of the craziest shit in there. But like the way it's set up, it's the doors right here, but it's a space right behind the door where somebody can sit and shit. So you know what I'm saying? We opening the door, folks going in and out, but it's a nigga sitting in the chair. Don't nobody know the fuck the nigga is. He just sitting there vibing out. He on his goddamn computer and shit. We in there making songs. But that nigga finally stand up, he finna dip out. Nigga was like, yeah, I want to play this beat before I leave. It's Chris Bosh. I swear to God, Chris Bosh was in that bitch making beats. In the cut, just chilling.
That's like crazy story.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh, I need some beats, man.
You know, God,
I like your boy.
For real.
The athletes be tapped in by.
That's crazy. That's a hell of an experience getting out of that, man.
It was wild, bro.
How was it like working with Cole? How was it like working with Cole?
A1, bro. I'm about to say, even though bro always look like he just got done mowing the grass, but that nigga is the coldest dog. For real. Like, bro really a GOAT. I'm about to say, that whole community, bro, it's different. Like, music is one thing, but it's different to feel a part of something. Even when, like, on paper, I'm not signing no dream video, you know what I mean? Right. But it feels like, and everybody who was involved in that album, everybody who's just involved with their team, period, they always feel really, really welcome, shout out. And that shit a beautiful thing. Shout out to them.
That's what's up.
Shout out to them.
That's a hell of an experience, you know, because there's so many, we was talking to Reason about this, there's so many, you know, uncomfortable situations that people are put in, being able to, and then so many beefs happen between artists, being around each other. To hear you saying like the environment was great around
cool,
others that are coming up just like you, rapping, making music. It's always good to hear when rappers are doing stuff like that, you know?
That's cool. I'm about to say, you know, everybody got their egos and shit. That's just natural shit, but it's nothing to the point where anybody would let anything hinder the music. You know what I mean? You step in that studio, you leave that motherfucker at the door. And that's how everybody was.
Did you feel like you had to step up? You was talking already about how you but he had already heard you and you was dope and all of that. So you felt like now was the time to kind of show and prove.
See, Cole had heard me, but like it was other folk in there that I was already fans of that I knew about that didn't necessarily know who I was. Like Shmino or Saba or any of them guys. It was like, nah, I gotta show the fuck out. It's like first time I met some of them, I met like Shmino for the first time at South by Southwest, but on some fan shit like, yo, I fuck with your shit, bro. I told him like he probably don't even remember that shit. And I saw him again. It's like, what's up, bro? Who you? Cool. Man, I gotta go the fuck off, nigga. You gotta know. We did some shit. Me, him, Buddy, and Guap Bag got some shit out there, motherfucker. That shit cold. Yeah, it's cold. But yeah,
it's tough.
Around some. That's a room full of some rapping.
Bro,
rapping ass niggas.
Rapping ass niggas.
Imagine goddamn, you just walking that bitch. This cold Crit and T-Minus in this room.
Crit? I would love Crit on the show.
Bro, Crit crazy.
And then you walk in J.I.
T.I. and fucking Swish Beats in the next room. And it's Ari, Rick Ross, and Vince Staples. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on here?
That's crazy.
Bro, that shit was fire.
That's how you know you belong, though.
Yeah,
you walking some shit like that.
Shit was fire.
Now, just to bring it back to you being signed, you know, I always like to, I like to talk about it because, you know, we get a lot of independent artists that watch the show, and a lot of independents it's kind of a way for me to display how your progress being signed or being independent.
Weighing the options.
Yeah, weighing the options, understanding like what you've been doing. Like Boogie, we had different artists gave us their perspective on, what's your perspective on between being signed and independence?
So, all right, I'm gonna kick it like this. You don't need it. I'm gonna tell you that flat out. You don't need to be signed to make it now. Like, there's no gatekeeper. There's all that take your shit to the radio shit. That shit don't even exist no more, nigga. The internet wiped all of that out. So you don't need it. But everybody's situation is different. When I got signed, I was fucked up. Into my life, fucked up. And I ain't saying like I shined no shady and had 360 deal, no shit like that. Like, we still went through the proper precautions and shit. Got the lawyer to read it over. Yeah. About to say it was like a 5-month process and shit like that. But understand that even if you do sign, you still have to work like you're not. That's the only thing. Like, a lot of people have these horror stories about the label because it's like, oh, nigga, I'm signed, I done made it. Like, I've hit the finish line. It's not the finish line. I was like, what? That exactly. It's the fucking start. And they'll support you to the point that you support yourself. And that's the same with anything, Shawty. Like, if you're not doing anything for yourself, nobody's gonna goddamn, I'm not gonna give you $50,000, $100,000, whatever the bag amount is to do anything if you're not doing shit.
Right.
And that's just like common sense. But a lot of people have these horror stories for that reason. It's like, stop.
So can I highlight a point? So you said people have these horror stories in terms of working with the label. So is that something that the label pays attention to, your work ethic and what you got going on, as to whether or not they're gonna shelf you or not? Or do you think it's just kind of subjective?
I think buzz is definitely like a thing in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be working hard and shit ain't going, and it's like, man, alright, nigga, I don't know what to do with this. But I can't relate to that story. Like I said, I talked to Mark.
Just based off of what you said, I was like, Okay, so maybe the artist got a little stake here.
It happens.
They can put their grind in.
It happens. I mean, and don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? This business isn't conducive for many positive things. Right. It can be a shiesty industry. It can be a fucked up industry. And there are some people who will goddamn sign you just to remove you as competition for another artist that they got or some shit like that. It does happen. So that's why you have to weigh your options and know what you actually getting yourself into. For real. Like, it's just knowing what's best for you. Don't let nobody else be in your ear and tell you what you need to do. I'm Southern nigga, so I'm God-fearing, you know what I mean? So pray on it, goddamn, talk to God, do whatever you need to do, and do your research. Read over these contracts and all that shit. Know how long you gonna be in this deal. Know how many albums you owe to these folk. Know what all the parameters for all of this shit is, man. Just know what you're getting into.
How did you gain that knowledge? Did it take a while? Did you take some bumps in the road that you had to learn what you know now?
Nah, or are you still learning? Common sense, nigga. Fuck that. Fuck that. I ain't signing shit that I reject me. No, bro.
That's a fact.
No.
How was your experience going through the lawyer part, picking your lawyer? Because you know they say that's like a real particular.
And they be trying to give you a lawyer.
Nah, they ain't do that to me. That ain't happened. But I've heard of shit like that.
Yeah. How'd you go through your picking your lawyer? How'd you do it?
My manager actually introduced me to my lawyer. You know what I mean? So
good manager.
So that means you really rock with your manager then.
Like for sure. Yeah, that's my dog. Shout out to Chris. And bullshit. I just talking to you about it. He at home with the kids and shit, man. So yeah, I'm about to say he introduced me to him. Named Jonathan Leonard. You know what I'm saying? He T.I. lawyer. Got that nigga. Feel me? Rich Homie Corn lawyer. There's a couple other people. But yeah, he's A1.
Right. That's what's up, man. You guys have so many people under RCA, like big names in the industry right now. How is the relationship between your label mates? Or is there a relationship?
I'm about to say, like I said, the internet took out a lot of things. So it's like, I don't necessarily have to go up to the label building to get anything done. Right. I can get that shit done from the crib. So I haven't necessarily met everybody. I've talked to a lot of folk, you know what I'm saying? Got a record with her, talk to her, that's weird saying. Miguel, all the folk, man. So I haven't met everybody, but the people that I have been real welcoming, you know what I mean? So
how's the relationship with the label heads?
Oh, I was just saying, Mark and Wayne, goddamn.
Straight.
Yeah, if I say, Wayne's birthday was yesterday, I just talked to him. Just talked to Mark, last week? Yeah, so that's regular shit, man.
I remember Pusha T kept it real. He was on Clubhouse. He was like, I'm keep real, but I ain't never met the A&R. Damn,
you don't have to, though, bro. That shit trash, bill. Like, shit, honestly.
Shout out Pusha T.
Trying to think about it. I might not have met ours, for real.
Right.
Damn, nah. Hey, yeah, me and Pusha T got that in common.
Yeah,
but you don't have to no more, dog. It's so much shit. It's so easy to do this shit now, dog. Like, you can make that song in your bedroom and then put it out from your bedroom. Nigga, like, you don't need nobody to do shit.
Speaking of song in your bedroom, so you did better. You did your one of my favorite projects out. What time frame was it when you dropped it?
Like when you was making it?
Yeah, when you was making it. What time frame around what you was?
We made one song probably like maybe a year and a half prior, and then like maybe 2 songs before we went on tour with Jit. This was like I think May of 2019, I think. Yeah. Then shit, we made 80% of that motherfucker in like 2 weeks when we came on.
Was that during the quarantine thing?
Nah, this before.
This before. And you dropped it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
What made you decide to drop during the pandemic? That's such a it's such a rough.
Seems like a lot of artists running away from that.
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. Them niggas ain't gonna be here. Like, they gonna forget all about that shit. Cause it's like, you still wanna listen to music.
Right.
Like, y'all niggas ain't like, oh nah, I got
maybe even more, honestly.
Exactly. You in the house, you ain't got shit to do. Like, so I still wanted to put it out because I don't think I'm at the point in my career where I can starve my fans. You know what I mean? Like, Kendrick can do that. Kendrick can disappear for 4 years because he's already built up such a reputation. It's like, all right, nigga, I trust what you're doing. Shit, nigga, if I do that shit, I'm gonna be like, all right, bro, about to find the next lyrical nigga.
I'm a Fab fan, man. It's tough being a Fab fan, man. I ain't heard Fab in a grip, man.
That ain't gonna put y'all in the gulag. They
got us in a headlock,
That's a fact. That's a fact. So that process with that album, because I know for me, it was one of the best albums I heard in a while. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the success that came from that project. Talk to me about the success that came from that project.
Sure, man. It's crazy because it's like being in a tornado, like being in the focal point of that motherfucker. You don't really see all the not damage. I don't want to say damage, but everything that the tornado was doing. You know what I mean? It's like once you in it, it's a little different.
Calm.
Like yeah. But when I step outside, when I see certain things happen, it's like, bro, what the fuck? This shit is a lot bigger than I think it is.
It's
yeah,
crazy.
man. Cause like even yesterday, we was out shopping and shit, bro. We were into Lamar Odom. Literally, I ain't say nothing, bro. We ain't say shit. We just walked out. I was like, damn, that's Lamar Odom. But I tweeted about it.
Right.
I tweeted the shit, and it was like maybe 2 or 3 hours later, his manager hit me up in my Instagram DM.
Right.
She was like, bro, we been getting texts all day about your tweet about seeing, bro. And that nigga tweeted me. He was like, yo, I ain't speak. Yeah, I'm a fan.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, what?
Wow.
Bro? Like, what the fuck? So
Shows you all your brand.
it's hard to grasp when you're doing it because it don't necessarily, like, I still go home. It's like, nigga, I still got bills. Like, I still got shit. My fucking windshield cracked on my car type shit. Like, I gotta fix that. So it's like everything don't look super lavish right now, but it's a lot bigger than I think it is.
Right.
That shit's crazy, bro. Like,
Very dope, man. You gotta appreciate the process.
Dead ass.
I'm glad you talked about that again because it's a lot of independent artists. You're gonna go through that process of like going from being underground, not known, building that brand, keep pushing the brand to becoming known, bumping into artists and people that are familiar or know you or whatever the case may be. So that gotta be a humbling, experience.
It is, bro. Like so even going back to the album and shit, it's like when I told my mama about it, I gave her like the features and shit that was gonna be on that motherfucker. I was like, yeah, we got Jid, mama. She was like, okay, cool. I was like, we got Black, mama. She was like, okay, cool. We got Nudie, mama. She, okay, cool. I said, Miguel, she almost flipped the fucking table. It's like, that shit's crazy when it's like folks that a mother know. Yeah. Shout out, I told her about the Lamar Odom shit. That's crazy. She knows who that is. It's crazy when it's that fucking big. Shout out, I can't even really put it in words.
It's only getting bigger.
It's only getting bigger.
Yeah, bro. It's wild, bro.
Nah, that's
it's
big.
A blessing.
Yeah, nah, that's big. We kind of experienced it with launching the show and like what we stand for. When you're inside, we just in here working and building the brand. We don't really see the effects that's happening because we're so concentrated on working. So when you see the effects and people bump into you like, yo, da-da-da-da-da, it's like, damn, I didn't even get a chance.
I got a couple freebies. Shout out to everybody.
It's like, I didn't even know. Like, it's like I can understand where you're coming from. Man.
Shit, it's fucking crazy. It's really, really humbling, bro. Because it's like, it be from people you respect.
Right.
Like, not even just on some like, oh, you the hot thing right now. It's like, nigga, I respect what you do. Like, and for you to be like, I respect what you do. What? Fuck is you talking about? This shit crazy, bro. Like, it's beautiful, bro.
Nah, I'm sure it is, man. I'm sure it is. But like I said, this is something we wanted to do. We took this trip down here specifically for you. You know what I mean? We wanted to come down here and cover you for a freestyle, but also catch up with what you got going on because I feel like we talked about this before we got here. You're in the pinnacle stage of your career. After Better album, we're waiting. Everyone's kind of waiting for that next project, and this could possibly be the. You know what I mean? Like, not to put too much pressure because you already working and doing what you do, but it's like you're in a position right now.
Got a lot of eyes.
That next one is the one you're in. You got nominated for XXL Freshman, right? Yeah. And it's like you're in that stage of your career. These next moves are gonna be crazy for you. So to capture this moment with you and this is to see how's that been as far as like. Hearing that you was, XXL Freshman, how was that anyway?
Well, I'm about to say we actually, I found out in January. They let you know in January, they'll call you up, you do like a little interview and shit. They have you do like what do you think you should be, type, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So I knew since then, and we've just been trying to like put shit together to actually make this year as beneficial as possible, man. Just to make these looks make sense and to capitalize on these motherfuckers as good as possible. Now, like, that's why we start putting out the freestyle.
Yeah,
like,
that's big.
It's time.
That's big. I love to see it, man. I love it. You represent the part of the culture we believe in and we stand for. So I love to see that part of the culture being put in front.
Thank you.
It means a lot to us. But, we wanted to come down here and cover Deante.
You went crazy, by the way.
Yeah, you definitely went crazy.
I appreciate it. I can't even remember. I was about to ask. I hope I ain't got nothing disappointed on it.
Nah, hell no.
Hell no.
That whole beat,
crazy.
Just before we wrap up, is there anything you want to let the fans know before we wrap up?
I was finna say I actually got a question, you know what I'm saying? This is my character test, but I already said my side, so I don't want nobody to change, you know what I'm saying, based on what I said already. I need like waffle and pancakes.
I actually love waffles. Before you even said that, I don't want to make it seem like
I'm a waffle.
I actually fuck with waffles.
I'm a
pancakes.
waffle.
I was fucking with pancakes
cool.
too though, and then they kind of fell off kind of crazy. I don't know what happened.
They said pancakes fell off this shit.
I like my shit together. I like togetherness. You know what I'm saying? I'm a guy that keeps things together. So waffles is like real together. So that's
perfect, bro.
Yeah. So I'm a. You heard it here first. Waffle team.
My man's love waffles.
Oh,
he
God.
might swing on you if you don't.
Oh God! Shout out to Gladys.
Listen, Bars Eye 95. Appreciate everybody's been tapped in. Make sure you continue to tune in. We just hit 100,000 subscribers. We're pushing the culture forward. We're doing what we do. You know, bringing you talent like Deante and everybody else that's been tapped into the culture. Appreciate y'all been tapping in. Appreciate everybody that's been paying attention to the culture. We got a lot more to come. Make sure you go tap into the merch, barseye95.com/shop.
Get that. Go get that.
You know, that's what we do here, man. Independent platform.
High level rap.
Side note, black owned.
Just getting started.
Just getting started.
God.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all.
My brother.
Subscribe now.